Dude, doesn't that rip?
You're an idiot.
No, you're an idiot.
Welcome back, Libertarians only. Very excited to have you guys here with us. I'm Alex Dragovich with my esteemed co-host, Jeffrey Asmus.
Hello.
And we've got a special guest on the You're an Idiot podcast, incredible comedian and writer, Skyler Higley.
Yeah, you forgot to say that I'm the biggest libertarian of them all.
Oh, yeah.
Drago has no idea what libertarian is.
Dude,
Yeah,
don't tread on me, bro.
That's true.
Don't tread on my
I love
shit.
those people.
That's true. All I know about it, or did you want to quiz that on me next week, or
No,
should
actually,
we rip it
we'll
off?
just do it now. We'll just do
All
it now.
I know when I think of libertarian is fiscally conservative, socially liberal.
No. What? No.
Is that
what?
off?
I feel like that's what I think a libertarian would identify themselves as, but you would still be like,
That's
nah.
yeah. They're just like
Well, I don't. I mean, no.
they're just like free market everything.
I saw that. Did you see that video of the libertarians where the one guy was like at, I don't know, whatever libertarian meetup, and he was talking about stuff, and he's like, yeah, but you know, I understand we're all libertarians here, but there are some things that should be regulated in some ways, like we should have to have driver's licenses, and then he got booed by everybody.
Really? Yeah.
They were like, no, what, boo, driver's license, nobody should have to have government documents.
They don't want.
Oh, it was Gary Johnson.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Oh yeah, I voted for him in 2016. I regret that.
Hell no. What's next? Requiring a license to make toast in your own damn toaster?
I like that he had a voice too. He's like doing a bit.
I'd like to see some competency exhibited by people before they drive.
Wow.
Libertarians literally are the people who booed competence.
That
was
so
the thing.
funny. To be
Holy
against
shit.
a driver's license, you've gone too far.
Yeah.
You've gone too far.
That's down the rabbit hole, dude.
I love
Some
that.
people were against. Like I imagine, like when the seatbelt came out, some people were
Oh,
like libertarians. Like,
absolutely. Stoplights,
you want
speed
to take? You want
limits.
to take my
Freedom doesn't make any
seatbelt.
sense. It's stupid.
Really, I mean, it really
doesn't
doesn't.
make any sense.
Like the idea of autonomy, if you want to do anything, it's going to affect other people. It doesn't
yeah,
make
you
sense.
can't just do whatever you want.
Yeah,
That's not how
man.
life
That's
works.
free speech. This is the Elon Musk portion, I
We
guess.
were talking about that last time.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
the Elon. Well, yeah. What do you think? What's your
I
thoughts
mean,
on
like,
Elon?
I think he's just a dumbass. I think he's just a rich
Thank
guy
you.
that gets to do whatever. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of all on the surface. Like, I don't have a better take than anybody that is already talking about it. Like,
Right,
I'm like,
right.
yeah, he's a rich guy who really thinks that he's like doing something, but he's just rich.
He's just an egotistical. Well, this headline James pulled up says he might not buy Twitter.
Holy
I don't
shit. Yeah, I
know.
just saw this.
Really?
That he might not buy. Like,
I thought he already bought it. See, I don't even know enough.
They have a deal. They have a deal in place, and there's a $1 billion what is it like exit clause on there. So if they don't go through with it, somebody has to pay whoever pulls out $1 billion.
Who's pulling out? So I don't.
We don't know.
Oh, okay. Is it him buying it alone, or does he have like a consortium of people?
He's probably I think it's an asset swap. So it's like whatever he's got in his companies he's using to trade for.
See, I know nothing about anything.
Where's he at on like making robots I can fuck?
They actually just revealed a Tesla robot, a humanoid Tesla
and
robot.
is she hot or
That's-
how?
She doesn't
That's
have tits yet. But
That's what matters.
Drago's out.
That's gonna hurt. But listen, I mean, yeah.
probably buy him.
Once he makes that, then I'm, then I got
Then
no,
I'm
I
on
got, I
board.
got no issues.
Are you really gonna fuck a robot?
I'll try it out.
Absolutely.
Well,
try it out.
definitely. I'm not going to be. It's kind of racist if you don't. Like,
Yeah,
you gotta.
you're anti.
Yeah, when you get the opportunity, you gotta try it out.
gotta try
Would
it.
you fuck that, Drago?
That robot?
Yeah.
No.
Absolutely
Fuck that.
not.
Well, wait. What's the robot's personality?
Right.
Demisexual. Demisexual.
Yeah.
We just learned what that was an hour ago.
Is that a? Is
Do
that
you know
a?
what that means?
Yeah,
I didn't know that was a thing.
I actually have queer friends, so I know.
But demisexual seems like I don't know. Is that's the emotional one?
Yeah, it's like you have to have like an emotional or intellectual.
When,
connection.
that would
when
happen.
someone's a staunch demisexual, like what do they say?
What do you mean?
Yeah, I agree.
What
I
do
don't-
you mean?
How do they know?
Like how do they? What do they? Like when they're so like adamant about being a demisexual, how do they convey that? like when they talk about it, when they express that, they're just like, I want an emotional connection more than you or you. That's why
doesn't
I'm
everyone want an
demisexual.
emotional connection? That's
Okay,
our hang up.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get that part, but I know the three of us here do not need like an emotional connection to like be turned on by somebody,
Right.
right? Like
so
you're
that
like,
they can't even get turned on.
right? I
Oh,
think
so
that's the
it's-
idea. It's like,
Oh, we might have misinterpreted that part.
We were wrong.
We said some things last episode we might want to take back.
James, play the music.
I love like it's like three straight dudes discussing queerness here, and we're like, we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely. This is drag us to an apology.
What's up, demigods? It's your boy back again. I'm sorry. Oh, wait, we do apologies because we have to do that a lot here. I fucked up. I didn't know that you couldn't get hard without an emotional thing or whatever it is, but I'm into it. And if you were offended by what we just said or what I just said, well, Venmo you $3.
That's a classic.
Nice.
We're spending our whole
We
fucking
fucking love
budget
you,
on
Demis.
apology Venmos.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Have you sent any out yet? Like where people
one
actually?
time, one guy jokingly asked for $2.
Yeah.
And I sent it to him. Man of my word, we
Wow.
sent it to
Yeah,
him.
this is a podcast about living, but also about learning.
Yeah, and I think we did both.
We learned there. I didn't know they couldn't get aroused.
Well,
or
because
whatever.
they're like part of. It's crazy. I just talked about this last night. They're like part of the asexual like spectrum. Like,
Oh, really?
Yeah,
They're
so-
like early asexual light.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, like a diet asexual.
I wish asexual would rip.
Would it though?
I think I bet it's great. They probably get joy, like sexual joy from like eating food or something. You know, like this, it fills the void in some other way.
Right. I feel like I thought the same thing, but I also feel like there's no way that if you're different in whatever way, it must suck for people to be like, but what? Like, imagine dating somebody and like you're like hardcore asexual or whatever you want to
Yeah.
say, and then they're like, but I'm horny, and you're just like, pfft.
It's tough to
Yeah.
explain to someone.
Right.
They're not gonna be like, oh, I totally get what you're saying.
Right.
No one's gonna be like, yeah, you're right.
So
It'd be hard.
some people do like they do get turned on only by food, and it's like you gotta bring that in. It's like we gotta
yeah.
we gotta bring a
well,
burger.
there are people who get aroused by like inanimate objects.
we gotta
and
bring in a
stuff,
burger right now. You gotta
Yeah.
buy a burger every time
Gotta
you want to
have a burger
fuck.
on the
That's true. That's a thing.
Yeah, it's
That
everyone
is-
has their thing. Everyone has their thing. On the count of 3, shout out your thing.
I was going to like try to say what's the most recent like fucked up thing that I jerked off to.
Oh God!
God.
I didn't. No
Okay.
one. We weren't asking, but you just thought of it.
It's gonna be Jeff.
Yeah. One of our
Unfortunately,
clips on
it's-
Instagram.
Yeah, we got 300 likes, and I just couldn't resist.
Oh my
Dude, 300 's a
God,
lot.
That's huge.
That's a big
That's
number.
Huge. We love it.
Absolutely huge.
I don't jack off to fucked up stuff.
Oh yeah, Jeff
Cool
doesn't
stuff.
masturbate. We know this.
Yeah.
You don't like at all?
No, I masturbate. No, what
Oh.
are you talking about? I hump the pillow.
Oh yeah, you don't watch porn.
I don't
sorry.
watch porn. I don't watch
Oh.
porn. That's my thing.
Wow. Yeah.
Never watch porn.
Dude, that's great. That's good
It's
for you.
good-
You
that's
got a
like
good
Okay,
head.
that is actually something I kind of want to ask about Skyler's
Yeah.
background. What's the Mormon take on porn?
It's a hard no. It's a hard
No porn.
No porn.
No porn.
So that's
Zero
why you gotta have a
porn.
lot of wives. But that's only like
They don't do that anymore. The mainstream Mormons don't do that.
That's a
anymore.
great take though, where it's like no porn. That's why you have all these wives. If you need it,
You need to get sucked
Something
off
else.
20 times a day to make up for it.
yeah. it's
okay.
no.
Porn is just like if you're caught as a child watching porn, that's like you're getting.
You're like it's like this whole. It becomes this whole like big process of like because Mormons don't straight up do that Catholic thing of just like.
Oh, yeah,
oh,
you
you're
don't. Do
going
you
to
do
hell.
confession? Oh, really?
There-
There's
no,
no
they
heaven or
do.
hell?
I mean, there's a hell. It's complicated.
I don't.
There's
Yeah,
a
I don't
whole-
know that much about Mormonism.
There's this
honestly.
Joe
whole
Smith.
Joseph Smith
That's all I
founded
know.
it.
Smith,
Yeah,
yes.
dude, out in the woods. No, so okay. Here's what I'll say because I did. This is what happened to me, where I was like, what was I like 12 years old, and like I one time like I confessed to my mom, I'm like, Mom, I think I'm like addicted to porn. And I'm like 12.
A 12-year-old.
A 12-year-old, I like tears down my face.
Oh
like I
my
think
God.
I'm addicted to
Because
pornography.
you thought like the devil was inside you. or
Right,
something?
right.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
God.
then I had to talk to the bishop, which is like
Oof.
basically the Mormon version of confession, except for instead of like a dark like booth, it like happens in like like an office where you're just like across from
it's
a
like you're
man.
in HR basically. With
Yeah.
God.
The principal's office.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, so I heard you've been jerking off or whatever.
Do they give you like a what do you call it? Like a penance?
Yeah,
Like,
well,
you have to say, but you don't say Our Fathers or Hail Marys. I don't know
no,
what they say.
it's more like a lot of just like I think they have different sort of like programs or different things that like they'll prescribe. Like for me, he was just like, okay, like, well, what you should do is you gotta read like the Book of Mormon. There's a couple of like little pamphlets or whatever where we're talking about like here's the problems with watching porn and how
pamphlets.
here's how it cuts you off from God. And that made me hornier, so he jerked off to that. That was my thing. No, and then
they're telling you about the porns you should watch, and you're like, this sounds good.
Dude, I just had this memory. This is probably an inappropriate question looking back on it, because the dude, a fully grown man, was like, oh, so like, do you masturbate? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, so you're watching porn? I'm like, yes. He's like, so what is the porn you're watching? And what causes you to want to like masturbate?
Holy
and I'm like,
shit.
that's not something you can ask a kid.
So she bent over, and then what happened?
Yeah.
She got stuck in a washing machine? And what happened?
You didn't have those washing machines
slow
shit
down.
back then.
Slow down. Yeah.
No, it was at that time it was YouTube.
Well, this was dial-up porn, probably.
Yeah, no, I was 12. This was early YouTube back in the
Was there
2000s.
porn on YouTube?
There wasn't, but there were videos of girls with big boobs in bikinis, and I know because I searched for them all the time.
Wow.
And then in my head, I justified it because I'm like, I'm not watching porn. This isn't a porn website. It's not porn. Meanwhile, I am jerking off in my pants to it, but I'm not watching porn.
Anything's porn if you're jerking off to
Exactly.
it. Is that how it works?
Last week I searched Winona Ryder boobs, but I didn't jerk off.
just to
You
see if she
searched
still
for
had
They
it.
were great. They
Yeah.
really were. Sorry to cut you off.
No, it's fair.
Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder's so hot.
That's your all-time love.
Sorry.
It's
So you do this. So you basically go into like confession camp or whatever that's going on here.
Do Serbians do that? The Orthodox?
No,
Well, he's part of this rival Orthodox.
Serbians.
thing.
You can.
He's Serbian Orthodox.
What
His
is-
family, it's like a whole different like Greek.
It's not.
Orthodox.
It's like Greek Orthodox. It's the same.
Oh,
If you
okay.
know any Greek people, it's the same shit.
All
It's
right.
a little different.
If you know
though.
some Russian people, it's the same shit.
Yeah. But you do confession.
No, dude. You can let it fly whenever when you're a Serbian, dude.
Wow.
Really?
So there's no like they don't.
There's no
fuck you up
shame.
on-
There's no
My-
Serbian
dude,
guilt.
Well, here's the thing, my grandpa was a priest. He had 6 kids. Like my grandpa was,
He was
Wow.
fucking.
oh yeah.
He was fucking. Wow.
So that's
good.
Yeah,
You
Jeff
should be
Jeff
able
never
to-
gives me a lot of credit for having a priest as a grandpa, but I guess
Yeah.
because
How the
Yeah.
mighty have fallen.
a priest that had 6 kids, and it was like a good thing that he had
It was
kids.
like
with
yeah,
him.
exactly. Yeah, it was like a loving relationship.
it's a sexual culture, I would say.
Wow.
It's a sexual religion.
Serbians
it's
are
a sexy religion.
Sexual people.
I'm always so jealous of everybody who tells me they grew up religious or like whatever kind of religion it was, and then they go like, yeah, but there wasn't like sexual shame about it. Like I know like
Yeah.
some like Jewish friends that are like, yeah, we didn't really have
Jewish people don't
that
care
sort
about
of
that, really.
like fuck
But
you.
the Mormons have deep sexual shame.
yeah, like
deep.
like bad. Where like that's why they had all that like specific underwear that you have to wear.
Oh, yeah,
'cause it's
what
like,
is that?
Yeah.
You have to.
It's
you
like
have to buy it from like the Mormon store.
uh-huh.
Really?
I mean,
There's
there's
a grift. They're making money off selling you this underwear.
there's so many grifts in it. They're making money hand and foot, taking 10% of your income, and then also different
Oh.
things that you can only get from Mormon places. So, of course,
Do people actually tithe?
Oh,
10%.
yeah, if you believe in it.
Did you know people that didn't drink coffee?
yeah.
That's
Most of the people I grew up with didn't drink coffee.
Holy
That's such an insane
shit.
thing that they.
Dude, I was thinking about this more because there were so many Mormons that I knew that were constantly like fucked up on Mountain Dew and stuff because nobody was drinking alcohol or coffee or like smoking
Isn't that
cigarettes or
still
anything.
caffeine though?
Yeah, people would
They-
sort of like justify it with
Really?
they were like, they didn't say in the Book of Mormon, they didn't say not to drink Mountain Dew. Like,
Oh my god.
Could you drink like Red Bull then or something like that?
yeah, dude, we'd get fucked up on Monster Energies and play Guitar Hero.
You just,
like,
but then
into
you
the
were
night.
like drunk. You,
Yeah,
that was, like,
we'd
you're
get
drunk.
Yeah, it would be like that whole thing. So there was, all of that
So
stuff.
they can't have coffee, which is a natural thing in
Uh-huh.
the earth.
So you
very
okay,
natural.
So you grew up Mormon in a Mormon like community in a Mormon like suburb or whatever. So there wasn't like was there like other? Did you go to high school with was it all more or was it just
no?
a normal?
I would say like my high school is probably like half and half, I think.
Ooh.
But that's still a lot.
That's a
Civil
lot.
War.
That's still a lot.
I mean, most
My-
Mormons live in Utah.
Yeah.
Like 80%.
My high school
or
was half
something.
Jewish, so we went to like
Really?
so when you talk about like how like uninhibited like Jewish people were sexually, it's like those bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs when they're 13. The
Oh, yeah, those
grinding
the kids
is
are going crazy.
insane.
Are you
my
serious?
God.
The
Really?
grinding's absurd.
Yeah.
Uninhibited, dude.
6'4" Alex, 12 years old, grinding on a short little 4'8"
I was
girl.
like 5'7" in like
Oh, you
7th
didn't
grade.
spurt
I didn't
till
sprout
later?
until high school.
Oh,
no.
Wow.
okay.
But yeah, the grinding was messed
really,
up.
are they people like kids are making out and stuff? They're
Oh, it's a whole thing.
Really?
I'm glad Sky brought up the Jewish people first.
That's just what I've heard. Like of
It
people
was, dude.
say.
It was. You're like, this is wild. And I do think growing up, like being like somewhat religious, going to church, having like a Christian like background, that was not. It wasn't like that. Like, dude, like
Right.
I remember when I went to my buddy's house. And we were watching like a rated R movie. Of course, like my dad, son of a priest, I was never allowed to watch.
Yeah.
You couldn't
that
watch
shit.
rated R movies.
So
I couldn't either.
not
Really?
until like I was in high school probably.
Wow.
Yeah. So like
But the Jewish people, you could
Dude,
do it at their house.
my buddy Max, we were watching Fast Times at Ridgemont High. His dad walks in. He goes, He's like, did they show the nudie scene yet? Did they show the nudie scene? And Max is like, they did, Dad. The boobs were out. And he's just like, rewind it. Gotta see
He
him.
just watches it with you.
He had this like
See, that's weird.
he had a
that is
that's
weird.
he had a
But
very open.
Too
I've-
open.
I've always wanted like a bro dad though. Like it must have been cool to these
friend
kids out
dad.
here that were just like, oh yeah, they're like titties in that, right? And they
Yeah.
like toss them a beer and
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
So not. That
your
seems cool.
dad,
I
like,
do
she's
think-
a hot. Like
Yeah.
your dad's complimenting your girlfriend. She's hot.
Yeah,
Like,
you're not. Yeah, you're not supposed to like get super get along with your dad. I feel.
Yeah,
like.
no, I don't think so.
You
I don't
know?
think any of those people who really had bro dads, like, I don't know that their lives turned out great. Like, because the dads were just like,
they're
yeah,
not
dude,
there
we'll
to
just party
like,
with them.
corral them
Yeah.
and like teach them lessons and stuff. Yeah.
Corral
Yeah.
them.
Well, you can't have limits and stuff. You can't just let your kids free for all or whatever.
Part of growing up is having a dad that's not cool. That's why he's a dad. You've got a
Yeah.
dad.
Right.
He's got to be a dad.
My dad was cool.
Your dad was cool?
My
How
dad was
cool?
cool.
But, like, bro dad cool?
No,
or
he's like athletic and funny.
Yeah. See,
Girls
that's,
always said my dad was hot. They're always
Damn.
like, my dad's hot. But then they didn't think I was hot, which was kind of an insult, I
Yeah.
thought. But
I
Where
mean,
did-
that's hard enough when it's your friends, because I went through that when it's like growing up. It's like your friend's really hot. Can you introduce me to your friend? But the dad thing that would make me.
yeah,
my
like, do you want
blood
me to
boil.
introduce you to my dad?
Yeah.
I think he kind of likes my mom a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to work out.
Yeah, your dad is a cool dude.
My dad, he's a Republican, but it's cool when you don't get to the brass tacks of the world. If you don't
Yeah.
start talking about how the world works, he's a pretty cool guy.
Okay.
But then it'll just come out sometimes.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
like, how
though.
do you like reggae and have that opinion?
I don't listen to the lyrics.
yeah,
I just,
he doesn't.
just vibe
he
out
loves
to the tunes.
reggae. He loves reggae. It's crazy.
Is your dad a pro weed guy?
Yeah, he would be. Yeah,
Okay.
but he's like has these terrible opinions about everything else.
So he does. So he isn't, or he could be, but he just like because he.
I bet he
is
was
Republican.
liberal, but then you just get old. It's
Oh,
he
yeah.
got Fox News'd.
Oh,
You
yeah,
just they
fuck.
don't know how to
Oh, yeah.
navigate social media or like news
Yeah.
and stuff, and his coworker sends him a meme, and then
It's like,
it just down
this
the
is how
rabbit
it
hole.
is.
That's just how they go.
Yeah.
That's how it
Little
goes.
Nas X is ruining America. It's like you didn't even know
What?
who that guy was.
Yeah,
until
right.
Yesterday, I don't get it.
I do find it interesting that like there is, especially when shit was going down. Well, like it was like two summers ago now. There was all these suburban people being like, "What's going on in the city? What's going on in the city?" And it's like people are breaking. So it's like you don't even go.
Right.
You're not going.
You
Why
don't
do
know
you
the world
care?
at all. So
Yeah.
why are you like you went? You're like, I don't understand, dude. I had a guy message me about he was talking about like this all the looting stuff. He's like, why? I
Oh,
can't believe
the
that they're
looting.
doing this. And I'm like, you gotta understand, like, you can't even begin to understand what's happening. And you sort of talking about all this like destruction of property stuff is this subversion of talking about the real issue, which is like white supremacy. So it's
Right.
part of the white supremacist narrative to value property or whatever.
Yeah.
And I kind of laid all that out just like very quickly. And he's like, "You think I'm a white supremacist?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"That's not what I fucking said,
Yeah, yeah,
dude.
yeah.
That's not what I said at
You
all."
can
influenced
You can
by
get
it.
you can give that whole explanation, do that perfectly. On top of that, They go to the city once a year anyway.
Right, exactly. It doesn't even matter.
You don't even fucking...
You live in the suburbs. You go to Chili's. Why do
Yeah,
you care
it's like, why-
about Chicago?
yeah.
My parents think Chicago is a war zone.
Dude.
They think I'm dodging
yeah.
bullets every day, and it's
Where are your parents?
or a suburb of Minneapolis. Well, they
Oh,
think
yeah,
Minneapolis is a war zone too.
Yeah.
They live
Yeah.
30 minutes away from the city, and they got security cameras put in.
Did Minneapolis...
They
did
think the protests are like they think they're gonna march down to their cul-de-sac.
Uh-huh.
And
And it's like 30 miles out. And they're like, they're going to march all the way
they're
here.
gonna walk, they're gonna camp halfway through. And then
Did they
come to the-
successfully defund the police? Weren't they talking? Wasn't that...
They did briefly, but then it didn't end up
Yeah.
happening. Yeah,
It's only like...
it was
I
for like
feel
a
only
month,
few
and then
places.
once the hubbub went away, they're like, actually, we're not going to.
Actually, that's not
They
gonna
just said
ever
it to
happen.
like placate the protesters.
Yeah, for sure.
a classic. They just got the Minneapolis police just got caught like making all these fake profiles to like infiltrate like black.
Yeah.
Didn't they shame their mayor when he was like, "We can't defund the police," and they just kind of shamed him out of office? Like, that was a fucking hectic video,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, Jacob Fry, I think his name was.
He was
yeah,
like,
he
"I think some
sucks.
cops are good," and they were like, "Get the fuck out!"
It's just not what you say at that time, dude. Like, you know how to play the game. Like,
Yeah,
just,
if you're a politician, just lie.
Just
we know
li-
you're
you
lying.
know- we know you're lying.
This is
We
the
know-
one time you're not gonna lie. Yeah,
All
I
they
like
do-
some cops.
yeah.
Dude, I had the same thing where my my grandparents, when I told them I was moving to Chicago, and this is from Salt Lake City, Utah, from like a suburb of Utah.
Salt Lake City is like incredibly like safe and everything.
It's super white, and
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know, it's a little more diverse like now, and also like when I was starting to leave, like it's got a good Latino population and
Oh, yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But like they were just like, Chicago, oh my god, because all
Yeah.
you
You
hear
hear it just murder, murder, murder,
just
murder.
murder every. They're like, how could you possibly? My grandma's like, I'm so worried about like, don't like know any murderers or whatever. I was like,
Don't hang out with murderers.
yeah.
No.
I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like, I'll try. Like, and then yeah, and so I was just like, no, I'm gonna.
It's so funny because like the right wing narrative is that liberals are pussies. We're like these snowflakes, but then also cities are war zones and we
Yeah.
live in them.
Well,
So am I a war veteran or am I a pussy?
it's
Like,
the funny
which
thing
one?
because all of like right wing narrative and conservatism and all that, like, why would you need a gun unless you're scared of something or you don't want you want something to happen or
Yeah,
like even
yeah.
I'm not even trying to make a super anti-gun argument right now. I'm just saying the idea of like I need a gun is to shoot something else because something else is going
Because
to
they have a
encroach
gun.
upon me,
Yeah.
which means you're afraid and don't want something to encroach upon you. That's just is what it is.
Right,
like there's
right.
so much of that like stuff that's like it's all perpetuated on just like fear and shit.
Yeah, they just
They're
scare
gonna
'em.
turn your kids into a trans. What?
All kids
wait,
are
Scott,
trans.
when did you move to Chicago again?
2016.
2016.
Yeah.
That's
like,
about when
yeah,
I
it
was here. Yeah, or
Yeah,
2015.
2015.
Yeah.
Yeah. Support for the You're an Idiot podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Their products are precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's Performance Package is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code IDIOT20 at manscaped.com. If my math is correct, that's about 8 million balls.
You know what? You nailed it. He nailed it.
I've done it
weeks
again.
Of practice, the man did it. Manscaped has changed his life. Look at
It
it.
has changed my life. I love to fuck, and
He didn't before. He
and
didn't
I
like
did
sex
it
before
before.
Manscaped.
And now that my balls are clean, they smell good, they feel good.
Because when your balls are hairy, sometimes they get locked in with your woman's pubic hair. It's a Velcro type thing, and you gotta
Right.
rip out. I was always having that problem with my lady. We're getting
It's called
stuck to
it's
each
called
other.
Velcro dick, is what Jeff had.
Velcro dick. No longer. I got this. I got the weed whacker. I put up my nose just like that.
Oh yeah, he's always whacking those weeds.
Whacking those weeds. We got the other one, the lawnmower, which I put on my dick, my taint, my balls, even the bottom of my feet.
You can put it everywhere, folks.
It can get rid of those big toenails.
Why don't you want your dick to look good?
Why?
on.
Why are you holding yourself back, America?
Mm-hmm.
I woke up this morning naked on the couch. I did. I don't know why.
Because
I
he's
don't
that
remember.
comfortable.
'Cause I'm comfortable
with
with
his
my
dinky
body.
being out.
I don't care. I don't care anymore. I walk around the house naked. I'm daring the neighbor. Look in the window, bitch.
Please look.
You'd be so lucky to see me.
You'd be so lucky
We
to
got,
see it.
and you remember you got the crop preserver lotion. You can put this shit on your balls. You got the other one that also, this is ball deodorant. The other one moisturizes. It's incredible. The products are great. They're made in America. I actually don't know if that's true, but they are good products. I use them every day, honestly. Probably use them too much, but hey, whatever. So you're going to want it. Please do it also. We need the money. Here's what I'm going to say, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
We need the money.
Idiot 20.
Drago is hurting.
I'm hurting.
You think logistics pays the bills? It doesn't. You think my job that I don't have because I'm a headliner pays the bills? No, it doesn't. You think his feature pay is paying the bills? It's not.
Believe that.
We need your support.
We need it real bad.
Idiot20. Use the code idiot20 at manscaped.com and make our little white man dreams come true. Good night and good luck.
Skyler's been in the game for a minute. I do want to switch gears a little bit. Skyler,
Yeah.
This is a comedy podcast. We've got a lot of comedy listeners.
Of course.
It's great that we have you on. Sky is a comedy writer and stand-up comedian. He was recently a writer for Conan.
Yeah.
And now a writer for The Onion.
The Onion, the top of the pile. I mean, The
Yeah.
Onion is the creme de la creme. From Madison, where I went to college. I
Yeah.
love The Onion, yeah.
It's great. I like it a lot.
When did you start with the? Did you get the job with them recently, or has it been for a year now?
Well, I was a staff writer only since February now, or did I start in January? I don't remember. But I was with them for a lot longer. Like I did the fellowship.
Didn't you work for Clickhole?
Yeah, so I was like contributing for Clickhole like on a freelance basis, and that kind of led me to like doing like freelance stuff for The Onion and contributing like for their little infographics jokes, and they're like, you know, they have those American Voices jokes where it's like this one prompt, like, what do you think about that? And it's just like a joke dialogue response.
Oh, yeah, like Three Faces.
Yeah. And then so it was that until a long time. Then I applied for the fellowship, and then I did that, which is basically like you go to the office and they like treat you like a staff writer. They just don't pay you like a staff writer. And it's sucks in a way because you're like getting super underpaid for like a lot of work.
But you're doing almost as much work as the other writers.
Yeah, but also you're like learning on the job how to do the job, and I kind of feel like in a lot of ways it's such a specific style and, you know, job that you kind of can't really know unless you're well versed in like joke structure and like politics and the timeliness of the news and what's going on at the time. So
It's a crash course kind of.
Yeah, and it was good to do. Like I did enjoy like the work of it until like COVID happened, everything shut down, and then it was like, you know, all the BLM protests, and like I was one of 2 black people there.
Right.
And that became very stressful. Like I was having panic attacks and stuff.
Oh god, to like come up with like headlines to make this funny.
Yeah,
and
well,
everything.
it's headlines to make it funny, and then it's like pressure on like me as a black person going like, am I in the way that it just doesn't really make sense. But I'm like, at the time, I'm like, am I like kind of speaking for all black people through The Onion in the way that we would feel about this being at
They're almost using you a little bit.
Yeah, but only being at the site where like some people are expecting sort of like The Onion nails it. They have this comment about this stuff, so they say these things. So it became a lot of pressure, especially like not doing stand up. I'm like,
that's all you had.
I'm like, this is how I value myself because I'm a comedy writer, and I'm like also not getting paid that much or interacting with anybody. So I just started going fucking crazy.
But that puts you in a tough spot. I have a buddy who writes for Kimmel, and I think he felt one thing that he felt was like, even though you're a new guy on the staff, you have to speak. The pressure to like what he said, the pressure to speak up when some of the white writers may miss the mark on something, especially as a new person. He said is kind of a tough situation.
It's a total mind fuck.
Especially like a tenured white staffer is like, isn't this funny? And you as the black staff, you're like
Right, but then not
you're
even
like, hey, listen,
not even on staff too. Like that was the thing. The fellowship is like I'm not even technically on staff, but I'm doing it, and I still was like going like I have to like
you have to say something.
make sure
Right.
like nothing comes out that is not good. And then there was like a couple days where I took off because I'm like I'm going too crazy, and then in those days when I took off, I saw a headline come out that I like didn't like.
Like that was
And I
the
was
wrong
like,
narrative.
I
you
was like,
thought?
this is the I think wrong take on this, and then I felt just like crazy guilty because I'm
Right.
like,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
I had
Like, you
been
have to
there,
hold it
I
back.
would have been able to
Right.
say like this probably is not the thing that we should say right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was complicated and a lot of pressure at that time. And then
Right.
I got the call for Conan, and I was like, yes, I'm leaving.
Oh yeah,
I'm
I
leaving
forgot That
now.
was in between.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, because just immediate. You already have the pressure of being like a new person, but then that's
Yeah, well, and then
Then you
also
know.
figuring out like what you're doing, like, am I good enough? And like, it was also all this pressure to be like, the fellowship is kind of an audition for the staff writing job. So obviously, I'm like trying really hard to make it onto staff, and then there's another person on the fellowship, and like, it was this thing of whether or not I wanted to get competitive with them.
Yeah.
I did, and we're both on staff now. Sammy's really cool and we're friends. But like I started getting competitive with her because I'm like, I know there's only gonna be one staff writer position open at the end of
Oh
this.
god, so you're like,
So
I
I-
have to have a better headline than you today.
Yeah, and then
basically.
I was like, oh, like her shit's getting across a lot more than mine. Like in my mind, I'm like, they just like it so much better because it's also the room is about like everybody's sense of humor. Like there's not an objective
Exactly.
version of what humor is. So I'm like, well, hers are just working because like they're all the same, much more the same type of person than I am. And so I was just like
Right.
overthinking like all this stuff.
You're
and it
also
was crazy
learning
at
how to
that
do
point.
satire during one of the craziest periods
Yeah,
in
exactly.
world history. Like
Yeah, it was like the election.
the
Right
election,
then, and
COVID,
then
the
COVID.
protests, it's
like-
just everything going on.
Yeah, I was like, this is fucking nuts.
I had literally nothing on my plate, and I was still freaking out.
Yeah.
I didn't have a job, and I was like, I could barely.
Jeff
control
bought an,
myself.
an electric guitar and was just floundering.
just fucking
That's the only way I survived. God.
just killing it. I would have liked that. I was like, I have to get jokes or I'm not good. Like,
oh god,
dude, and stand up not being around, like,
because
when-
stand-up's the way you like save yourself. Like work sucks
Right,
during the day,
yeah.
but you got to do a set at night.
and
or
then you
whatever.
just like you have that outlet, and I just had no outlet. I was
the
just
Zoom
like,
shows
freaking
didn't
out.
cut it.
Dude, the Zoom shows were bad.
Did you do a Zoom show?
I did I started out when they started, and I did like a couple of them, and I kind of stopped pretty quickly. And then there were a couple like shows that were like through Flappers in LA that were like
Oh,
the
yeah.
Conan Writers Show. I'm like, well, I like these people, so I'll do this. And then
Uh-huh.
even that, I did 2 of those, and I'm like, this is
It's
no
not.
fun.
It was not it. It was
the
not
the
good.
Cole's Zoom open mic.
Oh, I did the open mic. They would mute everyone, and you just have to see them snap their fingers.
Oh yeah.
Oh, those are
to
some of the
no
saddest.
response. Yeah, that's
Oh,
sad.
in my bedroom. Oh,
And I'm like,
God.
are these jokes? I'm just writing out like a whole like monologue of just like
Yeah.
this is just like stuff. There's no punchline because there doesn't need to be because nobody's laughing.
No one's laughing. You just
Yeah.
kept talking. Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I went back to grad school. I was so bad at Zoom shows.
Yeah,
so
those are-
that's
those are
how
bad.
bad I was.
Yeah, it was.
Jesus.
It is actually weird to think how far, like how much more normal, dude. Like going to like just to get like a taco, you have to sit outside, all the outdoor seating.
Yeah.
It looked. Yeah, that was nuts.
Yeah, it was not a great time for like comedy, but it also feels like.
But now it's like the best time.
Yeah.
I mean, the world is terrible, but I feel like comedy's kind of booming right now.
Yeah, I also felt like it feels like it was a really long time ago, and it wasn't. Like
It was like 7 years. It felt like 7 years.
Yeah, it felt like
Yeah.
it was such a long time ago. But
You see people for the first time after 2020, and you're like,
Like,
holy
oh
shit.
oh my god.
Fucking
It's been 2
Jerry
years.
Tran, you know Jerry
Oh
Tran?
yeah,
He got fucking
so,
jacked.
So many people got jacked. I was like, I should have done
Yeah,
that.
I
Why didn't I think of that?
I didn't do one push-up for
Yeah.
2 years. Jesus.
I just
Christ.
ruined all my habits, and they're still bad. Like I still like
Yeah.
sleep weird now.
Yeah.
Like
I got good at drinking.
There were,
Yeah.
there were those like it did weed out some friends too. Like the guy that I saw maybe like once a month to
Oh,
hang
yeah.
out. It's like we're not.
oh yeah, those non-essential
yeah.
friends are
We're
gone.
not
Acquaintances are
doing that.
done. No.
It's all about
absolutely.
real friends or
Mhm.
Yeah,
get out.
Yeah.
It's like, would I risk my life or potentially somebody else's life just to like see this person? if the answer is no, then it's just like, sorry, I'm
We're
never
not
gonna see you.
talking. Yeah, we don't need the small talk anymore.
Yeah, whatever.
Because that's the worst part of comedy is the small talk with people. This is me being an autistic guy, but I hate that. When you go to a show and there's 20 comics and you gotta say hi to all of them.
And it's just you have to, you kind of make it through like how much you and the amount of people around makes me like everybody who is there a lot less. Like, no matter who, if it's a bunch of people that I like a lot, still the fact that there's a lot of them, I'm like, I fucking don't want to be here.
Yeah, it's too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
Jeff's not great in the green room. How do you think it feels doing a podcast?
I'm the king of the green room. I stay silent the way you should in a green room.
Jeff walks in.
Everyone's the guy. I've said this before, but the person talking the most in the green room always bombs. The person who's just like, I opened for him. I opened for him.
I feel like it's so much
the name dropper in the green room.
I feel like we've been.
I feel like you're talking about somebody specific.
Absolutely.
I just want to know who it is.
I am. I can't say
We've been here long enough
out.
now. It feels like when you're in like. It feels like when you find out like you're in class with like one of your friends to me now. It's like this guy I can talk to. Like first day of school, you see your friend in your class, like, oh fuck yeah, I got like math with John.
Oh yeah.
So sometimes I go to a show, I'm like, oh shit, I'm on with Skyler. That's great, and we can kick it.
Oh yeah.
I don't feel whatever the shit you're feeling.
You don't feel like social anxiety.
Like, I've got it. These are my friends. I've known these people for 6 years now.
That doesn't mean I like them.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say the difference is I will feel that same way if it's like my friends, but like there's also like just at certain venues, just so many other people there.
Yeah.
So
do you know
many
I
other
can't?
things to
Do you
deal
know I
with.
can't not? I can never be comfortable. I can never be comfortable at Kohl's, dude, to do the mic.
Oh,
It's
it's
really?
too many people. It's a lot of
It's
people.
like
Unless
the
you can go
amount-
in and leave.
The talking, the way. Am I trying to figure out if you're up yet? The crowd can always be like.
Well, you sound like you're bombing there, even if you crush, because their laugh doesn't really reach your ears because of the.
Yeah,
Right.
you know the
acoustics
way
of the
to
room.
solve all that is drink. That's
Yeah.
how I do it.
Oh,
Like that's how
yeah,
I exist
dude.
there. I'm like, I don't usually go places and go like whatever I'm drinking here if I'm doing comedy. But if I'm at Kohl's or somewhere with a lot of people and comedy's happening, I'm like, I just have to drink and then I'm fine.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
I'm like a drink in, I'm like, I can
They have that
hang.
like $6 beer and a shot deal, and I do that every time, and then
Yeah.
I'm good. I also think the people in that neighborhood hate my comedy.
I
think
do worry.
Don't do
I think
well there.
now more than ever, I've just been doing. You just like I'm so much like clubbier. So now like I'll go to Kohl's and be like, fuck, are they gonna like this like
You do
shitty...
get it's good to do the alt rooms though, because you don't want to be a club hack.
That's
You
why
don't wanna be
sometimes
the
I look
guy.
at my new. I'm like, oh, this is for like moms. Like this is for like this is like for
is for
family.
moms.
I'm the exact opposite now. I will write something that I'm like, I love this. And then if it's like I'm like, oh no, this is a little too like it's just weird enough that is just like on the edge
It
of like
throws clubs off.
oh, I don't know if we can laugh at or like I don't know. I feel like people just don't know if it's like okay to laugh at this. Where I'm literally being like, the worst part about slavery was not getting any PTO or whatever, and it's just and
that's
it's
like too far for some club
Right,
people to
it's
get.
like-
They're like, does he mean that?
Yeah, it's like just on the which like I get a lot of enjoyment out of like that where it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
this like not like edginess for the sake of being edgy, but edgy just like being like I'm making a point here where I'm like if I'm talking about school shootings, I'm like it should happen at private schools because it's about like structural inequality that that is a problem. So I'm not trying to be like just woke. I'm trying to say some crazy shit,
Yeah,
but.
yeah.
Like when you're doing like that, like right on the edge, like you navigate that very well. But I feel like with my
Sometimes.
black ass face, people are like, I don't know what he means.
When someone who
so,
like drove in from the suburbs to Laugh Factory,
But,
they're
like,
like, "Ooh, this
yeah.
isn't what we want."
And then I go up first, and I'm like,
Yeah,
But that's what's interesting about like an alt room crowd is that that's why the joke is hard, it can be like it's on the line because like if an alt room crowd hears school shootings, you're worried some of those people will just fucking turn off.
yeah, that's
But
true.
but then you're hoping that they get the fucking overall message.
They
of
generally
the
are
idea.
smarter. Alt room
of the
crowds are
joke.
more comedy savvy.
That's why yeah.
yeah, but also like more sensitive too. Like that's the
Sensitive.
other thing.
It's
So it's just
yin and
where
yang.
you're coming at because then you could also go up in like certain alt rooms and then just go like fucking white dudes, and then
Yeah,
people will
they'll
just
be
like
like,
just huge, and then you're just like Jesus Christ. Christ! Like what? There's
But
no
then you can go to
punchlines
a
in this.
club and be like, trans people, icky,
And then
they'll
they're like-
lose their minds.
Yeah, that's
too.
true.
You
That's
gotta
true.
find
It's weird.
a middle ground a little bit
Yeah,
between
it's-
the chicken wing eaters and the people sipping of water.
Do
in the
any of
crowd.
you guys still do like COVID quarantine related jokes?
I never did. I just
I
didn't think
know.
I would have.
I had one. I had one or two.
I retired most of
you had
them.
vaccine
I had like
jokes.
a 10-minute chunk about COVID. I mostly retired it.
I
There's
don't
like
think-
one I'll
Does it
tell.
still hit if you do it?
In some areas, yeah.
Was it the one like about liberals and conservatives or whatever, or like how we were handling it? Or am I wrong about
No, there was one about like masks, one a vaccine thing. The vaccine doesn't hit anymore. That's
I think
done.
people are.
That's
I think
done.
people are over vaccine jokes.
Yeah, it has to be a. I think people like jokes about like talking about the time of COVID. Those can still work. Like, wasn't that weird what we did? That
Yeah.
can. Like
Oh, you
Zoom
can-
weddings. That was weird, right?
Oh, so
I think
that's kind of
I can
evergreen
still-
for a
I
little
think
bit.
those are evergreen because I
Yeah.
mean we all lived through it. It was like it was a weird time. Like
Damn.
fucked up
It
weird
was.
shit happened.
I feel
so.
like I didn't do it because I felt like so much of my material, like at the time being at the Onion and shit, and like so much of it was just like jokes about like what was going on already.
Oh, did you have to write a lot of COVID jokes? and
Yeah, well,
everything?
you
Yeah.
just write about what's going on. How are people feeling right now? Like, so there was a
Yeah.
lot of that. So I didn't really want to do that in
get
stand up.
burned out.
And it was also like I had heard like every fucking take, and like you just see all the like possible jokes. So even if it like isn't ever anything that ran, you still saw like,
Yeah.
well, I've heard that take before from
Yeah.
somebody else, so I'm not even gonna do it.
Yeah,
and I
well,
don't think my take would be
It was
better
tough
than
to
anybody's.
find an original.
Wait, dude,
one.
Yeah.
that's so funny. If you expound on one of your articles or one of your headlines, you can do it at a show, and a guy could be like, "That's an Onion headline." Like, that's a fucking
Yeah,
hack."
I mean,
And you'd
if
be like,
you've
done that,
you could be
have
like, you'd be like, "Well, that's my fucking joke, dude." You know,
Nah,
like-
I've never done that because it's like it's usually just so much more specific that it's like I
it
would
would
have
be
to
tough
say
to turn an
something to-
Onion headline into a joke.
Yeah,
Could
that's
maybe
why-
be a premise, maybe.
Like these stand-ups, like
no, I'm
will-
saying if he expounds on, it, if he starts
Yeah.
with it, and I go, "Well, that's
I saw
what I'm
that.
saying."
Saw
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. It could be that. It just feels like familiar, and then you just start to get a spidey sense for like, even if you don't know that you've like heard a joke before, like in the room all the time, we just kind of like I just have the sense that I've heard it, like,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's not even like. Oh, it's definitely this joke. It's just like I kind of feel like I get that.
That's got to make things so much harder
Dude.
with how things are. You're like,
Dude.
has this been done on Twitter? Has this been done on SNL? Has this been done on the?
do you
like-
have to like search the internet when you write headlines
Yeah,
and
man.
see?
It fucking sucks, dude. Half of our like, not half. We have good days and then like worse days, but like our document like has a whole column where it's just like we paste like this YouTube link to SNL. This was done on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like there's so especially like timely stuff.
Twitter
can be very
is tough
hard.
because that's all everyone's doing a million tweets about every
Or
event.
like the Elon Musk shit, right? We didn't even really run a new headline about Elon Musk buying Twitter
Yeah.
because every take had been done before. You can do every iteration of like Elon Musk bought Twitter, now he's going to claim that he invented Twitter. He bought Twitter, now Twitter headquarters are just going to catch on fire like Tesla's. It's like it's
Yeah.
all just done like
Yeah.
right away. So we're
Topical
just like
is hard now. It's very
it's
difficult.
very difficult. Everybody gets to it.
This is weird, but do you know what the Babylon Bee is?
Yeah.
That,
Oh,
that
yeah.
right wing. It's
Yeah, I
like the
know what they are.
right wing Onion. Do you
Yeah.
guys? Because do you ever go on their website? It's so funny.
They're
They're so bad.
We on occasion, I think the Onion likes to officially like as a group try not to like acknowledge the Babylon Bee because they, posture themselves in juxtaposition to the Onion, and then people will be like,
They're
"This is
kind of
funnier
like
than
we're
the-"
the right wing Onion.
Yeah,
Even though the
exactly.
Onion isn't really left wing. I mean,
Right.
maybe ostensibly, but
I think as whatever. But I've seen it, and it's funny to see like what they consider to be jokes.
it's
and-
not satire at all. They're just like saying things. They're like liberals like trans people too much.
It's just
And, like, that's
repackaging memes and then trying to dunk for like no reason, like on
Yeah.
some whatever bullshit.
It's so.
I've got
funny.
another question.
Yeah.
Onion related question. Do you guys take any action if something is stolen from you guys by another media outlet or even by like a big Twitter person or something like that, where you go, "Hey, this is clearly stolen from us."
Nah, I think if it's on the site already, everybody will. If anything
They'll
like
already
that
know.
happens,
Yes, no one's gonna steal. Yeah,
we're like it's on the site. Everybody probably in our Slack channel, if that ever happened, be like, what the fuck? They clearly stole that from us. Or like,
Do
you know.
people steal it? People steal, right?
I mean, I'm sure people do. We don't really see like jokes pop off like that where it's like, oh, we did this. Like it mostly comes like internally when we're writing jokes. We're seeing like, you know, oh, this has been done before, whatever. But it's not like after the fact we see other things often that, you know, we do. I've heard of it. Like people are like, yeah, the Onion did this and whatever. But then it's
people
just
would
like
post the headline.
Yeah, I've seen people like post the headline, but then like chop out the Onion part, and it's like they wrote the headline on Instagram.
That we wouldn't do. There's nobody, you know.
It happens all the
time.
time.
Because like the fat Jewish would maybe do something like that.
Yeah,
some people in that vein. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we would probably never chase that down because it's like, well, it's not really taking away from our site traffic if it's like a headline that's been done like, you know, whatever in the last year. Like it's probably not doing anything. So yeah, but I also, that's not my job. So I could be wrong. No, I'm saying I don't know that it's done, but that could be somebody's job, and I just don't know. Where it's like, take this down.
Right,
I don't think that's.
I got one more question.
Yeah. Then we should do the ad read.
Yeah. One more question. Here's what I think is interesting. You're a comedy writer by coming through the Chicago ranks. It's not done often. Would you tell somebody like a younger comic if they were like, hey, I want to write, should I go to New York, LA, or Chicago? Do you think that maybe that it was harder for you to become a writer as a comic through Chicago, or would you tell people to go to LA because there's seemingly more outlets out there, or is Chicago a good place? If someone wanted to be a writer, would you go, hey, go to Chicago first?
Well, I would say I would first ask them like, what is everything they want to do? Because if they just want to be a writer, like just write satire or whatever, I wouldn't say to move anywhere because you can just do that from wherever you're at.
Remote now.
But if you want to be a writer, it like depends on what you want to like write. But like I came to Chicago because Chicago has everything. Chicago has improv and sketch and all that shit. Yeah. And I always wanted to do all of it. So I was like, let me go where they have everything that, you know, the rents aren't crazy.
Yeah. Because you can write in LA, but you can do one stand-up set a week. And you have to pay $4,500 to live in a closet. You would have classified yourself as mostly a stand-up for a little, at least at the start.
Yeah, at least at the start. And even like, I mean, now kind of too, but the writing is what's been paying the bills, so I'm that. But like, yeah.
But stand-up's is that like the passion?
Yeah, it's definitely the passion. It's like if I had like all the money and the time, I would definitely be focusing more on that.
But unfortunately, it's the thing that stand-up is a weird thing where you have to get better at something else to help your stand-up
Yeah,
career.
exactly.
It's like the one thing that's like that. It makes no sense, really.
So yeah, I guess my advice would just be like, if you want to start out doing it, like my thing was like I started out submitting to like Clickhole and stuff, and Clickhole is and was based here, and I knew The Onion was based here. Yeah. But like also like late night shows are mostly out of New York, and you gotta get like whatever agent and representation to get to a show to, you know, if you're doing like a scripted show. So like it's hard to tell somebody like where to go. Yeah. But like if you are in Chicago and you want to be a writer, it's definitely a possibility that you can like rise through the ranks and do stuff here that gets you in positions to do like writing. There's a lot of options.
I feel like you can get seen in anything you want to do.
You can also be happy. In Chicago.
It is a fucking.
Would not want to live in LA.
Would
never live in LA.
Yeah, Chicago rules.
The stand-up scene here is amazing.
Yeah.
Second best scene in the country.
Mm-hmm.
New York, probably.
Yeah.
Fuck LA. Fuck LA. Sorry. Sorry. I'll say it.
You know what?
Come on,
I'm with
Dre,
Jeff. Fuck LA.
Fuck LA. We'll say it.
Sorry, Sky.
No, I'm just here.
Yeah, you don't.
I'm not. I will not condone or. What is the opposite of that?
Yeah,
I will not detract from that.
Condone or condemn.
Yeah,
I will never do an apology for saying fuck LA.
Never. We're never apologizing, Los Angelinos. I think that's what they call themselves. I don't know.
I think so.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, it's about that time, ladies and gentlemen, where we have to do an ad read. Unfortunately, we are not sponsored by Eddie's Body Armor anymore. They were caught supplying body armor to Boko Haram, and we will not be a part of that. We will, if they would have supplied ISIS, we would be okay with that, but not Boko Haram. So, ad read. No, we're not actually doing it, Drag, remember?
Well, I actually put it in way earlier because we're 46 minutes in.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy
so
shit.
I dropped it in already.
Wow.
Oh.
Okay, so we're good.
Wow, that
We're
flew by.
good,
What
we're
the
Okay.
fuck?
Wow.
All right, well let's wrap this puppy up.
We're wrapping it up. Let's slow your horses.
40.
a
You
little
said
bit.
45.
Well, yeah, but we gotta end naturally. He always does this. He always wants to end it.
Just go.
He just wants to
wanna
like
leave.
cut the
The
cord
Bulls are
right
on.
away.
The Bulls
You
are
want to
on.
fucking abort it? You just come on.
I'll abort this.
Let's have one topic of conversation. I wrote down. What did I write? Oh, I wrote down choking. Oh yeah, I've started choking my girlfriend a little bit during sex.
Oh my
Is she okay with you just straight up saying
God.
that? You're just like, yeah, I'm gonna say it.
Oh.
Yeah, I actually don't know if she would want me to say that. now that you say that, honey, we'll talk at home.
Listen, don't choke your girlfriend unless she asks, folks. And I think that's the big
Oh,
message
Drago.
from the
Yeah,
pod.
well,
Mr.
yes.
Feminine. Yeah,
There's
that's not a
part.
great take.
That one's obvious. I
Listen,
think, but
guys.
do you tell people that you were choking her unless you
I'm proud of it.
Yeah,
I'm proud of what I
okay,
do.
yeah.
I'm proud of
Look,
what we
everybody's.
do.
I consider. I don't know about you guys. I feel like choking is like pretty. I think it's like standard.
I think
now.
everyone does
I think
it.
everybody's choking.
I think everyone's choking.
Yeah, it'd be
too
hard for me to
scared.
find somebody who. Not hard for me to find, but it's like I think everybody's been.
Everyone
generally
are. I
into
think
it.
35 and under, everyone's doing it.
Yeah, everybody's
Old
doing
people
it.
have no idea what you're
Oh,
talking
like
about. though.
choking.
They have
Jesus
no
Christ.
idea. They
Yeah.
just lie on top of each other and that's it. Doggy style on 4th of July. That's it. That's all they do.
Celebrate America.
Okay, that wasn't a great talking point. wasn't as good as
I didn't mean
wanted
to shut it down.
No,
you
it
just
wasn't.
said that you were
wasn't.
choking.
It wasn't good. It wasn't
Okay.
good. One more. Oh yeah, here we go. Drago, I have to ask you a question.
And are you smarter than a
We have a
dragon?
segment where I ask him a question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is a.
I bombed these.
I'm so excited.
Here we go,
I never
Drago.
know
This is a
this.
little question about world history.
It's my worst. It's my worst topic.
Oh man,
Spanish-American War.
Jesus Christ!
What is it? Anything? Can you tell us a single thing about this war that thousands of American patriots?
Can I
died
take?
in?
Can I take a real reach? Without you.
Go for it.
What is the Battle of the Alamo?
Oh
No.
wow!
No.
Oh man!
No.
Drago.
I thought I heard Spanish.
Spanish.
My guy.
Alamo is Mexico.
Oof.
Well, it's in Texas, but it was a war with Mexico.
Mm.
That was like 70 years before. Really? Drago.
Spanish America? No, nothing.
You don't know?
Zero.
Nothing?
Zero.
You couldn't tell. When do you think it happened? I'll give you plus or minus 10 years.
Plus or minus 10 years.
Yeah.
I got one in the chamber.
Give me
I think you know a lot, I'm
Spanish
sure.
American. Give me
This is
give me
embarrassing.
1860.
Not even. That's when the Civil War happened.
Multiple wars.
of
yeah, you're right. That was 1865.
That's when
Yep,
it ended.
that's
That's when
when-
it ended. 1861, 1865.
1866.
No.
We took on the
We
Spanish.
immediately
Just Spanish, and then right after that, we're like, shit.
Yeah.
Spanish, and then the South.
1910.
That actually is within 10 years. It was 1898, so
Yeah.
close.
I've done it again, folks.
You don't know anything.
No.
That's how we got Puerto Rico, Spanish-American War. That's what you never thought
Let's
about
give him-
why Puerto Rico is
I'd
part
give
of
him
America.
that. I'd give him right back.
Jesus Christ.
Puerto Rico's
Joking.
awesome.
Okay.
That's you got to apologize to
Hit
Puerto
the-
Rico
hit
for
the
that.
music.
Yeah.
Hit
the
the
music.
music.
Oh my
Can we
god.
get a little merengue flavored apology music?
Hola, Puerto Rican friends.
Oh god.
Puerto
Now you gotta-
Ricanos.
Oh, what do you call them?
Puerto Ricanos.
Oh.
Hello, Puerto Ricanos. It's your boy Alex back again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about what I just said. I don't want to give you up. I like your sandwiches. What are those sandwiches
What?
called again? But they've.
The Cuban?
I've been to Puerto
Oh my
Rico. I've had a
God.
sandwich there. They're
Like-
fucking amazing.
You've been to Puerto Rico?
Play basketball there.
Whoa.
And you know what? I'm sorry.
For all the hospitality they gave you,
Beautiful people.
we'd
Great
rather give
culture.
up Delaware than Puerto Rico any day. Then we get
Delaware,
rid of Joe
Rhode
Biden.
Island.
Yes.
I'm fucking sorry. I take it back. And if you're Puerto Rican and you were offended by this, Jeff will Venmo you $250.
I will, because that's fucked up.
Wow.
That was fucked up.
Then I'll Venmo
I
you
think you're
$250.
thinking of a Cuban sandwich. Can't think of a Puerto Rican
No, they have.
sandwich.
I was having a bunch of.
Mofongo?
I had
That
a bunch
shit's
of good sandwiches down there.
Okay. I didn't know you played basketball in Puerto Rico.
We played against West Virginia and Dayton.
Wow.
In Puerto Rico?
It was like a little tournament.
Hey,
yeah.
why did you go?
Oh, they do like a little tournament
on,
there.
on Thanksgiving. They have these like shootouts. So it's like they have like the Bahamas. They've got.
Are you guys just partying there?
No.
Really? You're there for business?
You're pretty locked in. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Good for you. That was good, Drago. You actually, you failed dismally on the question.
Yeah.
I mean,
You felt so bad that you insulted Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You lashed out.
If you back me into a corner, shit's gonna happen.
It's gonna lash
Yeah,
out.
But that was the point. That was a good pod in a nutshell. I
That was a good
lived
pod.
and I learned.
Yes. Episode, what was this?
23.
23. Skyler,
Nice.
you got anything you want to plug on the end?
Nope. I got dates coming up, but I don't remember them.
I don't remember. He's got shows coming up. Skyler Higley, what's your Instagram handle?
Skyler Higley. Yeah.
Just Skyler
Hilarious
Higley.
comic.
Yeah.
We're so glad
Great
you did the
comic.
pod, man.
Thank
Thank
you
you
Oh
for
wait,
coming
no,
on.
I do have something to plug.
There we
God,
go.
I forgot about this. I dropped an album.
Your album.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm so bad at self-promotion.
I hate it.
Saltwater's on Spotify and wherever you listen to music, and it's a nice little comedy music mix sort of thing. And
Did you
it's
make
cool.
the music or someone else?
No,
composed
me
the
and
music?
me and my friend did it together. So my friend did the music, and I had some input, but
Yeah.
I can't like.
You got
make
some
music.
good write-ups for it too.
Yeah.
Vulture wrote you up.
Yeah,
That's
it's good. I
That's
liked
great.
it. People seem to like it.
That's
so
cool. It's a
stream
good
it.
idea. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Check out his album Saltwater Idiots. That's what we call our fans. The
Yeah.
idiots.
Hell yeah.
And Drago, you got anything coming up? This is gonna be tough for you in the this is 3 weeks from now. This will be coming up.
This is like what May.
May 10th,
10th.
the weekend of May 10th or 12th or whatever that is.
Oh, I'm in New York City.
You'll be in New York.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
I think the shows right now. I've got a couple shows at Session at the barbershop show.
Oh, the barbershop show's great. The
Yeah,
barbershop
I don't know the exact ones, but yeah, Sesh Comedy at 90 Eldridge, 92 Eldridge, something like
I
that.
think they can look it up.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to give them the address. I will be in Austin, Texas that weekend at Cap City Comedy Club, I believe.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Headlining the B room while Earthquake headlines the main room. A classic
Wow.
pairing.
Yeah.
A pairing as old
Jeff
as
and Earthquake.
time.
Yeah.
The people demanded.
God.
Episode 23, I believe. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank
You've
you.
been Great. Peace.
Bye.
See ya. Dude, doesn't that rip?
You're an idiot.
No, you're an idiot.